respected dignitaries, faculty members, and students. I am P. Sai Prasanna, MBA second year AMSOI. It gives me a great pleasure in welcoming you all to the orientation program of MBA 2021-23 batch. Now I request Director Ma'am to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Prasanna. Respected guest speaker, Ms. Shailaja Gupta, our Secretary, Sri Y. Satyanarayan Rao Garu, all the staff and students. A very good morning to all of you. I feel very happy to virtually welcome you all for the fourth day of the orientation program. Let me give a brief outline about our institution for those who are not there on the first day of the orientation. Andhra Mahila Sabha School of Informatics. So this is a unit of Durgabai Deshmukh Mahila Sabha. It is one of the reputed institutes for women education in Hyderabad. The founder, Dr. Durgabai Deshmukh. She was a great ideologist and social reformer. She worked for women empowerment. And here we are proud for getting this kind of opportunity to follow at least few of her ideology or value system. The first day of the orientation, we had Miss Madhu Priya from Chennai. She was the speaker where she made you to realize the importance of passion and willpower, not giving up attitude for what you want in your life by being an example. She herself being an example of that, she narrated so many personal experiences. So all that will be a great learning for all of us. Second and third day, we at college, we gave an orientation on the flavors of MBA and also stressed on the qualities or skills, what exactly you have to cultivate as per the corporate expectations. Today, being the last day of your orientation, you have Ms. Shailaja Gupta, who is an alumni of IIM, and she will be giving the inputs on what it takes to be an MBA and what this course specifically deals with and what are the corporate expectations. So with this, I hope we would be able to sow the seeds of right attitude to be cultivated as a student of MBA. All the best once again, and I heartily welcome you all for this fourth day of the orientation program. Welcome Ms. Shailaja again. I hand over the session to Ms. Sai Prasanna. Over to Sai Prasanna.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request RRV MBA second year to introduce our speaker, Ms. Shailaja Gupta, ma'am, Analytical Manager in Strides Pharma, Bangalore.
Good morning, everybody. It is my privilege to introduce today's speaker, Ms. Shailja Gupta. She is a keynote speaker and an expert in analytics. She is also an expert in team handling, strategizing, alliance, and client engagement for analytics, IT projects in sales, supply chain, operations, logistics, manufacturing, pharma, and NBFC domains. She headed the pan-India operations of an NBFC giant. In Samsung, she led North India operations and developed customized products by dealing with a 120 dealer network. She currently works for Strides Pharma and handles analytics projects related to sales, operations, and quality. She received an award of India's Most Inspiring Women Managers by Inside IIM. She is president of IIM Community, a 5,000 plus IIM strong alumni group. She regularly appears in educational analytics videos on IIM Community YouTube channels and has given guest lectures in various colleges on analytics, including IIMs and Delhi University. She is recipient of Academic Excellence Award for IIM Indore.
Thank you, RB. Now I request Shailaja ma'am to address the gathering.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm sorry, I think my video is not, I don't know why there is a problem. Anyways, I will start. So, welcome you all, and I've just put my LinkedIn in the chat box. If you want to follow for more live events, you can. So, coming to, how to make the best use of your MBA, first of all, see, you need to understand that you have to have a balance between academics and extracurriculars. It's not a purely academic what should I say degree, like your MTech or something else. So if there are any clubs or committees, I really think you should be a part of those. Apart from that, you should also try to maximize your chances of getting a good GPA. So what helped me, because I was the top 5 percentile in my batch, so the things which helped me were, first of all, you know maybe have a group of 4 5 friends. It doesn't matter whether they are good at studies, bad at studies, that doesn't matter. Any group, okay, of your friends. And so we used to teach each other, so we used to divide subjects among ourselves. And somebody used to teach HR, somebody used to teach marketing, and so on. Okay, so that was our strategy. Apart from that, I also used to like study from the notes rather than the book, right? Whatever the teacher is teaching, I mean, I used to make sure that I properly read those notes, so that you can read faster if you follow class notes. Apart from that, what I did was, I was also very active on social media. So I actively write on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn ID is there in the chat. And so just pick up any topic which you want. Let's say, for example, I write on personal finance and analytics, but you can write on whatever you want. Let's say you are interested in HR, okay? So you want to write on HR. So just stick to your niche. And what will happen is that recruiters will start noticing you online. They will start contacting you on their own. I know right now you don't want a job, but you might want an internship, right? Because I think you're in the first year. So you will be contacted for internship opportunities. Then you should also network around. If you have your college alumni circle, or that there are so many MBA, like there is Leap organization, just Google it. It is a networking platform mainly for women. So if I think most of you and all of you are women only, so that would be a good starting place for you. Then I will also be so we also have a lot of so I run a WhatsApp group, okay, where we keep on posting jobs and internships. I am pasting that link also in the chat. You can join that too. And similarly, I'm sure there would be other such WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups where some of the other job opportunities keep coming up. Follow those. For example, there is a job man at Telegram. You can follow that for so see, the main agenda is you should try to understand what the recruiters are looking at, okay, in the job market, and accordingly you have to tailor your skills. So for example, you want to go into HR, let's assume, okay. So what are the so if you join these job groups, right, or okay, even if you don't want to join, don't join, it's not an compulsion. But even if you see the JDs online, you talk to your seniors, what are the kind of roles that come in your college, and you try to develop skills along those lines. And also except for your soft skills, which are of course very important, also try to develop some hard skills. For example, if there is any I don't know. There are so many things in HR also, right? This HR analytics, Darwin box is there. Just Google what it is. There are so many HR related tools for Comp and Ben, or whatever. So sorry to ask you, what are the major specializations of the people? Accordingly, I think I would like to talk. Do we have
Finance and HR, ma'am.
finance and HR? Na? Ha, then I will talk only on these two.
We also have marketing, ma'am.
Marketing bhi hai kya? Okay, fine. So okay, I'll talk about each of these one by one. Okay, so let's say, so HR I already told you, right? So just study, and in HR also there are so many quantitative areas like Comp and Ben is there. I'm sure there must be HR analytics anyways is there. HR consulting is there. So try to develop some hard skills which anybody can easily test you on. Okay, apart from that, in finance, finance, maybe you need to see, I don't know what kind of roles come in your college. Let's say it is financial analyst or portfolio analyst, suppose, okay, these are the roles. There might also be a lot of sales roles in finance, HDFC credit card, blah blah blah, right? So many such roles will also be there. So first of all, understand, because you I mean, at least most of you would want some kind of campus placement, right? You would at least want to try for that first before going off campus. So I really think you should tailor your entire matlab, these 2 years that you have, right? You should tailor it in such a way that you have all the requisite skills which the companies would be looking at. So let me tell you, if I am a recruiter, what I would be looking at, I would be see, okay, if it's a financial analytics kind of role, right, then I would also look at whether this person knows how good is this person in Excel, how good is this person in financial modeling, how good this person, let's say, knows base accounting basics. Because you are not chartered accountant, so I will not expect too much accounts, but at least the basics I will expect. Okay, income statement versus balance sheet, blah blah blah, the different ratios, what are the different ratios you will look at while you're evaluating a company. Then I might be looking at, do you know any particular skills, matlab, some, like I told you, financial modeling is there. Like that, there are so many similar such things like profitability. Can you work on profitability models or not? Can you work on some kind of prediction or not? Can you be a suitable person for portfolio analysis? So let's say 5 stocks are given to you. Do you know how to understand which one of these is better? Are you good with trading? In that case, you would be going for futures. Let's say future first is the organization, so they will see how good are your fundamentals with respect to trading. So if investment banking, I don't think matlab, it would, like, usually that's not a role given to freshers. If I'm looking for sales in finance, then I would look at, your, let's say I'm HDFC and I'm coming to you for whatever, some sales profile in finance itself. So I will be also looking at your communication skills, your personality, your stakeholder management, apart from, of course, your mutual funds. Let's say you have to sell mutual funds, so do you know anything about mutual funds? How is it different from FD? Can you represent my company? Then how good are your basics? If not, how good are you at learning? Do you show any signs of curiosity in your resume? uh, I will not go by your words that I'm curious. I will see it in the interview or by your resume. How good are you? And then in your resume also, you should know what kind of skills to highlight. So let's say the companies which come on campus, usually, they will, I'm not sure. See, mostly they will tell the placecom that these are some of the criteria, that because we can't look at thousands of resumes, so we will only look at 20. So first step is they will ask placecom, filter based on GPA, filter based on experience, filter based on blah blah blah. So you try to be at least in a GPA range, so that your resume is at least shortlisted. That should be your aim, matlab. Second step is, okay, now let's say you are in that filter, but are you able to is your resume getting finally selected? So so for that, you should have a very professional type of format of your resume. It is available, just search for consulting resume templates. Okay, you will get good templates, matlab, which you can use for your finance or any profile, because consulting resumes are the best actually if you look at them. So you can just copy the template from there. You can also create resumes on Canva, but the only problem is there is ATS. You remember, so ATS is a software which will kind of scan your resume, and it will put relevant fields in different places in the database. The only problem is, if your resume is made on Canva or something else, right, it will not be able to read the resume. If it is too colorful, too many things, matlab, your resume, it will not be spotted in the by the ATS software. It will get rejected. So you should ideally try to have a resume which is more like made on a Word file, which easily any software can read without getting confused. Okay, so go for that. Then you can search McKinsey resume templates. You will get thousands of them. Just
Excuse
can
me,
you? Yeah,
Shailata.
yeah,
Can you switch on your video, please?
yeah. I'm really trying, but it's not coming actually. I have
Okay,
switched it
okay.
on. I don't know what is. For earlier, it was coming.
Yeah, that is what we have seen you. No, just free. Otherwise, please go ahead.
One second. I don't know why it's not visible only. Okay. Anyways, I do I have
It's
some.
okay. It's okay. Please.
My video is very big. If maybe that is why it is not coming. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, please carry on, please.
okay. Yeah. So this is what you need to do. Okay. And then see in finance also na, let's say financial analyst let's say they come for financial analyst, do something, go to LinkedIn. Okay, search financial analyst profiles on LinkedIn, see what people have written in their matlab, summary description, understand what is the kind of work. If you can, then talk to people who are working. If you can't, just check on LinkedIn, copy paste. I mean, do not exactly copy paste, okay, but at least understand what are the lines that you should write and all. What are the kind of skills I already told you. If you can learn Tableau, Power BI in finance, SQL, Python, it would be really helpful. Except apart from your core finance, that you will anyways have to learn, but this is extra. If you can do extra, then nothing like it. If you want to first finish your core finance, then just be very good with ratios at least. So that is what I would suggest. Then it depends totally on the company. If it is a I don't if it is an FD based company, then you have to study different type of FDs. What does the company do? What are the different products it sells? What is the exact work you are expected to do? Let's say somebody comes to for you to be a analyst to the CEO, then you should know the basic how to prepare good decks, which is PowerPoint, by the way. If you're in finance, you should be decent with PowerPoint, is what I will tell you. You have to matlab. So in PowerPoint, if you go right, there is a more option. Just search it in if you go to matlab, when you open the screen, right, there are templates which will be displayed. Then there is a more option. In that, if you type I can show you if you want. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, so I'm just opening my PowerPoint. Okay, I will just share my screen. एक second. Share screen. एक second. Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible?
No, 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 not it.
It's not.
Not it.
Okay. Let me try again. Is it now like better? I mean, visible? Not even yet, is it?
No, no.
No.
Okay, I really. Okay, let me take a print screen. Wait, I will just paste it here. Hmm, Even that is not happening. Okay, let it be. So basically, the thing is that if you will open a PowerPoint, right, you will get if you go to home, you will get lot of templates. Just go to more themes. So you can type, let's say you want a timeline, you can search timeline. You will get lot of ready-made templates on timeline. So just experiment with this more themes option, okay, in PowerPoint, and explore how you can make better PowerPoint. This is a very important skill. I mean, I don't know how much PowerPoint you're using in your MBA, but like a bad presentation, right? That is not that is very, I mean, it's not acceptable actually. So you have to work both on your content and also on how it looks. Okay, so apart from that, of course, Excel. I will just write few formulas which you can and you should know. Matlab, and maybe you already know, but I'm just writing it for your reference. Okay, just see the chat box. VLOOKUP, pivot, HLOOKUP, index match, sum if, count if, average if. Okay, then what is difference between index match and VLOOKUP? Which one is better? So index match is better. Okay, second index match and VLOOKUP. Then you should also know what else would you know? Yeah, making like dynamic dashboards in Excel. Actually, I really wanted to show one, but I don't know why this screen share is not happening here.
Ma'am, once again, leave and join again, ma'am.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
it
will
will come.
join again. 1 second. Hi, am I audible? Sorry, I was speaking with mute on. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are
Yes, ma'am.
audible.
Okay, great. So I wanted to show you something. So there's something called as a filter formula also. Okay. So you should experiment with that. I'll just write it in chat box only. Wait. Where is the chat box? Ye raha. Okay. So just 1 second. So just check your filter formula. Okay, what exactly it means in this only. What do you say? 1 second. Filter formula है. Filter formula I use every day actually in my matlab wherever I have worked, right? Just search it. With that you can make proper like dashboards. So that will be very important actually. Mm, let me show you, yeah. I am really trying to share the screen. I don't know what is the problem. 1 second. Entire screen. Can you see something now? Can you see now? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
You can,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. It's visible.
Okay, great. So let's say I'll tell 1 second. Why is it not? Okay, it's I don't know why I'm not able to open a new tab. Okay, there is some problem actually. I am so sorry, but so just Google your matlab, I'll just tell you what all you can search. एक तो filter formula, then you just search how to create a slicer in Excel. Okay, then just search something called as conditional formatting. You should know if you don't already know. Okay, then you should know in Excel spark lines. Okay, so there is something called as column, row, spark lines. Okay, so you can Google it. I mean, you will get thousands of tutorials. I am just telling you the key important topics which you should study. Okay. Apart from this, if you want to explore more in finance, I'm talking, okay, and especially in analytics also. So you can explore in the order Excel, then Power BI or Tableau, then SQL, and then you should do Python. Okay. This should be ideally the order. Okay, after that you told me some marketing is also there, right? So let's talk about that. Now in marketing and sales, your personality, your communication skills, they matter far more, okay, than anything else actually. I mean, studies don't matter actually. Even if you like get a bad grade, but you're good with what you need to do is for marketing and sales, you need to prepare your resume very well. Whatever is there in your resume, they will pick anything and they will ask you questions around that. So I'm not sure if you already have sales experience prior to MBA or not. If you don't, then try to go for some kind of live projects or internships around this. There are many which you will get, where you can actually practice some of the things whichever you want in your actual job. Apart from that, if you are into marketing, what else you can do is you can also do digital marketing, something on digital marketing. For example, you should know how to launch a Facebook ad. You should know how to launch LinkedIn ads, Instagram ads, reel, story, basic, matlab, whatever is there, right, in marketing. Then how will I know whether my campaign is doing well or not? So there is something called as Google Analytics. So Google AdWords and Google Analytics pay, you have free courses which you can do, and you will get a certification from Google itself. Okay, and even in Tableau you can get a data analyst certificate free from Tableau. Okay, so at least do these free courses, and which will add to your resume. So the people will ask you, okay, if I'm a recruiter in marketing, I will ask you, okay, tell me, how will you know whether your campaign is doing well or not? What are the matrices that you're going to check? Okay, so I'm not bothered about your tool knowledge, but at least you should know the matrices. For example, there is something called as click-through rate. Then there is cost per click. Okay, cost of acquisition, customer lifetime value. Then impressions. Impressions is how many people have seen your website or ad, whatever. Okay, cost per acquisition is how much are you paying to acquire each and every customer. Then you have customer lifetime value. So over the lifetime, how much am I earning from each customer? That is my lifetime value. So okay, so every campaign will have a different what should I say, aim. So some campaigns, see, for example, I'm launching a new drink in India. Okay, I'm Coca-Cola. I'm launching a health drink. So right now my aim is not maximum sales. My aim is maximum awareness, because I know I'm Coca-Cola, and if people know about my product, they will automatically buy. So I am more interested in awareness. Okay, so so the metrics is to find out whether my marketing campaign is successful or not is how many people are seeing this. What are the what are the number of impressions that I'm getting on my ads. But let's say you are Coca-Cola and you're selling Coca-Cola only. Coca-Cola is a very old product, everybody knows about it. So your matrices cannot be awareness. Now your matrices will be how much am I selling. If I'm giving this much of marketing, right, if I'm spending $1 on marketing, then how much dollar am I getting back in via sales. So your targets will be linked to sales, the increase in sales. Then you just study about A to B testing. Yeah, tell me, Sahiti. You raised your hand, I think. I can't hear you. Okay, I don't know. I'll go on. So you understand, right? So accordingly, you should first understand the objective. Accordingly, your matrices would change. So that is very important. Then you have to keep on monitoring that metric, and you might have to change your strategy from time to time. What works in one place will not work for another place. So different things will work for different areas. Different positioning you need to do. You know, same ad will have different meanings in different places. You might need to have different mascots for North India, different for South India, different for East India, whatever. So things like that, right? What are the kind of marketing campaigns you will run? What are the kind of media mix you will use? Will you use TV? Will you use radio? Will you use? You will have to use all actually, but how much of your money will go where? How will you decide that? So there is something called as marketing mix modeling. Just go through that. Okay, उसमें क्या होता है ना कि you will do some trials. Let's say I decide 10% of my ad spend I'm going to spend on TV, 20% I will spend on Instagram, maybe I don't know, some 50% I might spend on some offline campaigns, whatever, right? You can have whatever mix you want. So if it is a B2B product, then you might want to promote more on LinkedIn Quora. If it is a B2C product, I hope you know B2B and B2C, business to business, business to customer. So if it's a B2C product, then also it depends, right? What is my target audience? Is it a young crowd? Is it an old crowd? What exactly is it? So accordingly, I will position my product, and accordingly, your entire strategy will change. You know, for the 4 Ps, right? So accordingly, your product positioning, everything will change. Your ads will change, your packaging might change, the frequency of ads will change, and so on, right? Then how will you tie up with different influencers? How much will you pay them? That also you need to decide. How will you decide whether which influencer to choose? So there will be so many, right? It's not necessary. Some may have million followers, but all followers might be fake. Then what is the use of that, like influencer? So you need to see accordingly. You know which, how much to invest, like how much you have to invest where. That will be your main KPI as a marketing manager. Okay, whatever penny you are spending, everything has to result in some kind of sales ultimately. Okay, what else do you want me to tell you? Any questions? I mean, from these three, I can think of. I can go on and on actually, but I wanted to know. Is there anything specific that you want to know? Okay. I think there is nothing. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apart from these technical skills, can you just throw some light on like behavior or attitude?
Yeah, sure. So, first our aim is to crack the interview. So I will speak on how you can exhibit those behaviors in the interview, and then we can all obviously speak on how to grow in the corporate career later on. So see, when you are in an interview, let's say it depends. Okay, what kind of role you have. So for example, if you have a client-facing role, consulting role, sales role, then your soft skills are actually far more important than any of your hard skills. So you need to demonstrate not only when you are, giving your interview, but also in your resume. So you should understand what are the kind of skills I want to highlight. For example, I want to highlight communication skills. So I don't know you, I have not met you, I'm only seeing your resume, right? I don't know who you are, how you speak and all. So first of all, I will see what kind of language you are using in your resume. Is it too, so there are 4 C's, okay: conciseness, clarity, completeness, and I'm forgetting the fourth C. So conciseness, clarity. Just Google the 4 C's. Matlab, it's basically what I mean to say is that your whatever you write, right? It shouldn't be too long. It should be crystal clear. Anybody can understand. For example, if you have done a project, but you have to write in such a way that even a 5-year-old can understand. It should not be too complex, okay, for people to even understand what you have done. And it should be complete with all type of details, but it should not have unnecessary details. So get your resume proofread. Okay, so that is the first thing. Second thing is you can explicitly show that you're good at communication. How will you do that? Okay, I have let's say spoken at I'm not sure how many of you are into public speaking, but let's say you are not into public speaking. Okay, if you are, then you can always write that I have given 30 keynote blah blah blah, right? Then there is no problem. But let's say you are not into public speaking and you have never spoken anywhere, then also there will be lot of opportunities for you. For example, I don't know, you could first of all see start your own Instagram live, ye wo. Matlab, it should be business related. It shouldn't be like a fashion Instagram. It doesn't make any sense for the recruiter, right? So it has to be relevant, only then it will make sense. So if there is something relevant, great. If there is nothing relevant, then find out things like debating competition, some inter college, if you can, then please go ahead. But this will come in the extracurricular. Okay, there might be, but this I would rate it at the lowest level actually. Do not prioritize it. Okay, you cannot write I came first in debate competition. That doesn't make any sense if I'm hiring an MBA. So what I would be more interested in is if there are any B school competitions. Maybe there are so many actually. Just search dare to compete. Okay, so if you get any public speaking type of competitions, there are like extempore on business related issues. Those kind of things if you write now, if there was a business symposium where I presented my thoughts, that makes more sense to me. And if it is even more relevant to your particular area of expertise like sales, marketing, finance, whatever, then it makes even more sense. And I told you, start writing on LinkedIn if you have not started yet. If you can, if you don't have time, just write once a week, that is also fine. Then you can easily mention your LinkedIn profile that I have been and I share my thoughts. Of course, this is again on a lower priority, but you can use it if you have nothing else. See, if you have a very, very strong LinkedIn, then it's a very good point. If it's like a not that active, and then it's like it has to be a lower priority point, so you accordingly prioritize your points. Next would be so one is communication, then you should mention stakeholder management. This is a very important thing. Maybe I'm not sure how relevant it would be as a fresher, but still it would be relevant because you will have to deal with multiple departments, multiple functions. Now how can you exhibit this if you have zero work ex? If you have work ex, then you definitely write that I worked with, let's say you were in business analyst in IT company, so I collaborated with developers, testers, client, blah blah blah. Then you can easily write. But let's say you have never had any work ex, then also there will, you try to find out ways in your internship, live project, anywhere you can get multiple people, and you write that I licensed with these many people. And how will you demonstrate your stakeholder management skills? If you write I collaborated with so many people, everybody will write that. So I don't care. I mean, if I'm seeing that in 20 resumes, it doesn't make any sense to me. But if you write, see, I can tell you from a corporate experience. So if I want to show how I write, I can tell you that. So how I write, okay, I licensed with these many people, and I increase the adoption rate from this to this by 30% by influencing. So if I write this way, then I am demonstrating that I have influencing powers, I have stakeholder skills, I was able to increase the adoption rate of my product, but that will come with experience. Okay, so similar to that, just try to see if you can quantify your influencing skills. For example, I increased the pre-booking in my live project from by 15% as against the traditional 8%. If you write this, and using my network, using my relationship, whatever, stakeholder management, so if you write this, then I understand, okay, yes, this person has actually got those stakeholder management skills or influencing skills, persuasion skills. So this is the second skill in the soft skill side. The third skill could be so I mean, it's more or less related only, but punctuality, honesty, ethics, but that again, you cannot really quantify that in your resume. So the topmost skills for me would be communication, stakeholder management, persuasion. Persuasion and stakeholder management I have clubbed together. You can also separate the two. Okay, for stakeholder management, you can say by effective stakeholder management, I reduce the number of escalations by 20%. Earlier there were so many escalations, now there are less. Persuasion skills may, you can say I increase the adoption rate or the views or the bookings or whatever by this much percent. Then you can also mention fourth, I would say client handling skills. If you can, please get such kind of exposure via your internship if you do not already have that exposure. Client handling skills may, what you can say is, how will you show that you were very excellent at client handling? You can show that by saying that the retention rate after I joined, it increased by 10%, or maybe the client gave repeat work, or the client gave an appreciation mail, or the client whatever, matlab he increased his budget or whatever, right? There are so many ways to show that you actually had a great relation with client. See, unless if I am a recruiter, I will see, are you quantifying it or not? If you are quantifying it, then it's a proof. Otherwise it's nothing for me. Like, I don't know whether you are just lying or you actually have those skills or not. So you have to quantify it. Now you will ask, will they ask a proof? No, they will not ask a proof, but they will cross question you on everything you write. If you write 10%, then they will ask, Are, kaise kiya? How much was it earlier? What did you do? How did you do it? So be ready for that. And do not write numbers which are completely like look false. So please write some realistic things. Okay, you should know. See, in a big company, even if you increase sales by 2%, na, it's a big thing. But in a small startup, even if you increase by 200%, it is small. So you cannot write like, you should know what is the industry average, what is the average matlab, rate of growth or whatever, and accordingly your baseline, right? Taking that as baseline, you can of course write whatever you have done, but that baseline basic knowledge has to be there. Then if you're going for consulting companies, then you should be ready for a MECE approach. MECE is mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. So what it means is, for example, let's say I throw a question at you. Okay, you have a client, and he right now, you know, his sales is $5 billion, and he is looking to increase his revenue. So how will you do that? So his name is Fresh Pulse, and what they do is they sell sandwiches to people. And apart from sandwiches, they also have like tea, coffee, you know, with sandwich. But sandwich is like their major product. So how can they, you know, increase their revenue? So you have to answer in a very MECE approach, in the sense that whatever, first you need to give two major categories, then break it down into subcategories. Do not simply start speaking. If somebody asks you, right, you don't directly start speaking. Like, you don't directly start saying, okay, they can sell more sandwiches, or they can, you know, increase the rate of the sandwich. No, you never speak like that in an interview, at least in a consulting interview. How will you speak? Okay, you need to increase the revenue. Fine. How can I increase the revenue? Either I can increase the volume or I can increase the price per unit, right? So I have broken it down into two major categories, which is volume and price per unit. Correct? No, volume multiplied by price per unit is revenue, obviously. Now, how will you increase the volume? There are so many ways you can increase the volume. First of all, you can have more stores. You can expand internationally. You can have more number of SKUs, matlab more number of products, or you can sell more quantity of the same product. You can increase your factory capacity, whatever. So this is the way to, let's say, increase your volume. Okay, so then how will you increase the price per unit? You can see which products are actually high margin products, adjust your product portfolio, and only keep the high margin, high profit products, remove all the rest. Okay, you can maybe, if you want to increase the price per unit, then what else can you do? You might want to sell more in urban areas. Okay, and you can sell it at a higher price there. Maybe in rural areas you cannot increase the price, but you can do that in such geographies. So these are the ways, right? So this is how you answer in any consulting interview. You should know that you have to structure it down. They're not looking, it's not, see, this question is not calculus question, okay? So they are not looking at how many points can you give. They're not interested in that. They're only interested in how will you structure the problem. So they will be seeing whether are you making the major categories and then are you breaking it down into subcategories or not. That is what they're testing. They're not testing whether you will come up with 1,000 solutions or 10,000 solutions or not. So that's something you need to keep in mind. See, if you are looking at finance or hard skill related jobs, right, then you need to be very accurate. Whatever they are asking, you should know that. Matlab, it's more of a hard skill focused. They're not testing your creativity actually, right? They are only testing your hard skills. So you need to know which kind of jobs you're appearing for, and accordingly you should answer. But let's say in a consulting company, if you're this is for a consultant, by the way, the thing that I told you, right, the structure. Let's say you're appearing for an analyst role. in consulting companies, so they will only test your technical skills. They're not expecting you to be client facing, or they're not expecting you to manage teams because you're a fresher. So that time they are not looking at those skills. They are mostly going to look at your hard skills, and of course the basic soft skills like communication skills. Can this person work in a team or not? Okay, how will I test your soft skills except for resume? I might ask you questions. Okay, what are your strengths and weaknesses? How will you handle failures? You seem to have written all good things in your resume, but what is the thing you never want to tell anyone? You know, so tell me basically your biggest failure, your biggest problems, your how did you handle a boss who did not like you? How will you work in a team where somebody else, maybe, I don't know, you don't get along with the senior or whatever, you don't get along with the next team person, but you still have to get the work done. So what will you do? How will you manage work life balance? How will you manage multiple deadlines? Then what is your view on work life balance? So you should know first of all about that organization, how much work life balance exists. So some companies have zero work life balance, and some are very very critical ki you should be a life balance advocate. So accordingly you need to tailor your answer. So things like that. Yeah, anything else that you guys want to ask me? Okay, then I think I am done. And you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or this WhatsApp group, anywhere, and I will be happy to answer you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That's very informative and it helps in improving our professional career. I now request NV Meghna, MBA second year, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege and honor to propose vote of thanks on behalf of AMS School of Informatics. At the outset, let me thank our today's speaker, Ms. Shailaja Gupta, for accepting our invitation to address the students. I also thank our chairman or secretary, Sri Y. Satyanarayana sir, our director ma'am, Professor K. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, and other dignitaries, faculty and students who have graced the occasion virtually. It was really a wonderful and lively session with so many tips to groom ourselves. As you rightly said, we should learn the balance academics and extracurricular activities to create an identity. The important role of social media, networking, and hard skills in building our career. As we are freshers, we have only the subject knowledge. So at the end of the day, everyone's dream is to get into corporate world. So ma'am given us multiple tips how to build our resume. At the end of the day, we are just based on a resume and the skills. Thank you so much, ma'am, for guiding us to build our resumes and the skills that are required. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Thank you, faculty.
Thank you, Shailaja. Thank you, Shailaja. Thanks a lot. You made it like giving tips on how exactly we have to be careful right from the beginning. So they're freshers.
Thank you, Meghna.
They understand the importance. They'll imbibe all that and they'll practice it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay.